Good morning, everybody. This is Keith Maule here, and I want to welcome you to our Integrity Online Winter Conference. Man, I love this. I'll tell you, I love the whole thing about it. And I might say, if this is your first one, you're this for the first time, well, I think you're going to love it too, because, for one thing, you don't have to worry about how bad the weather is and stuff. I'll tell you, it's been kind of a month of some pretty bad ice and snow and all kinds of stuff, and worried about the roads. And so here we're in a situation where you can do this and you can stay right there in your hometown without having to get up at 4 a.m. and drive on icy roads for 4 hours only to look forward to doing the same thing in the afternoon when we're finished. But no, you're right in your hometown now, and it's going to be an easy. And I will say that many of you are making it an even more fun event. What better way to go to a conference than to have just one big office party there where you're together with plenty of food and drinks, and you can have everything there where you just have a good time, easy breaks. We got short classes, and then shoot, by 1 o'clock or so, we're done. And then you have the whole afternoon and evening to relax at home. All I can say is it doesn't get any better than that. And I will also say that it is super exciting for us because we have over 3,000 integrity people attending this online conference. At the same time, we're together. That is a wow. I mean, that just makes it absolutely awesome. But I do want to assure everybody, as much as I love it, be assured we are not even considering eliminating our live integrity conferences. There is no way. We consider them essential. So I am saying that for us, I think you'll recognize this, it's the Deion Sanders answer. It's both. Because just about a month or so from now, it's not very long, it will be warmer and safer, and we will be starting our live spring conferences that are in 6 different locations all over the country. And so you pick the one, or however many you want to come to. You pick the one that you want to come to for the spring conference and get it on your calendar now, because it's important that you're there. So you get different strengths from each one. You get the strengths of being together live, and you get the strengths from being able to stay right there in your hometown. And by the way, if this goes all throughout the year, because in the summer, we're going to have another one of these online conferences, and it'll be followed by another live fall conference. So you get those 4 conferences with everybody together, all geared in. So this is the way it is going to be. And not only that, even though you have all those conferences, this does not even include our 3 elite conferences that this year will take place in Bonita Springs, Florida, Dollywood, Tennessee, and then we'll finish the year in the Grand Caymans. Sounds like a tough year, doesn't it? So listen, everybody, 2024 will be our best year yet. Now, the question is, why is it going to be our best year yet? Because, you guys, we planned it that way. There's a little lesson for you just right out of the chute. Why is it going to be our best year yet? We planned it that way. Now, I got to ask, what about you? How have you planned out your 2024? What kind of year are you going to have? How have you planned it to be? Have you planned for it to be your biggest year yet? Have you planned on it being your best year yet? That's the way you've planned this thing. Because why is that so important to me? You are the ones who set your own pace. The only limiter that you have on your year is you. It's up to you. Therefore, that's how I'm starting out this morning. I want to make sure you have your sights set on soaring. I want to make sure that you have taken the limiter off, that you have raised the ceiling, that you have made it greater than you ever thought possible. So that is how I came up with this new theme for the year that I want us to use. I'll tell you exactly where I got it so that you know. This was a fun year for football and a fun year for college football. And one of the great highlights for college football is the SEC championship. Now, this year's SEC championship was between Georgia and Alabama. Now, I want you to think about it. Georgia ranked number 1, undefeated for the year. But shoot, they weren't just undefeated for the year. They were undefeated for this really basically the last 3 years, going for another national championship. These guys are way dominant over everybody else. On the other hand, Alabama had a tough year, and they lost even right out at the beginning of the year. They lost to Texas. And if you were seeing it, it was something else, quite a game. But they really should have lost a second game to Auburn. Auburn was ahead the whole time. They were slamming them. It was easy deal. But Alabama beat Auburn only because of this Hail Mary pass that was in the end zone in the last few seconds of the game. It was a shocker. You should have seen the crowd. All those Auburn fans, boy, I mean, there was tears if they weren't just fainted in the stands. It was a play that they called Gravedigger, and they should have won that game, but Alabama won it. Alabama should have been eliminated from the SEC championship game. So it would be easy to say that they should not be in this championship game. Now, that was even reflected in the gambling world, you guys. Las Vegas and ESPN gave Alabama a 99% chance of losing this game against Georgia. A 99% chance, both of them, a 99% chance. Now, all of you Dumb and Dumber people, you can join with me on this. That meant that Alabama was really happy because you're saying I got a chance. Well, some might say that there was even no need to play the game when it comes right down to it. And I saw the game day that was on ESPN that Saturday morning before this SEC championship. And they were interviewing Coach Nick Saban of Alabama. And they asked him, they said, Coach, what are you going to tell your team before they go out today to play this game when they are such huge underdogs? And I think you all know they're not used to being huge underdogs, but they have earned it this year. Well, he said, it'd be easy for them to think we've already done more than anyone thought we would, and nobody thinks we're going to do this one, so we might as well just settle. But he said, I'm going to tell them we didn't come this far to get this far. What a great line, isn't it? We didn't come. As a matter of fact, everybody, I think maybe you need to say that with me. That's the theme. We didn't come this far to come this far. Okay, say it with me. We didn't come this far to come this far. You might even look at the person next to you, turn to someone next to you and say, we didn't come this far to come this far. That's what I want you to do. Now look, that was said, by the way, by a man who is thought by many to be the greatest coach in the history of college football. And boy, believe me, he's earned it. He has won 7 national championships, more than any other coach in college football history. The win against Georgia this year would give him his 11th SEC championship title. Now, one could easily ask you guys, does he really need another one? I mean, I think that. So how should he go into this game? Well, this is what he said. We haven't come this far to come this far. So now I've got a biggie question for you. How should you and I be going into 2024? When I thought about him and this team and this game, I thought it'd be easy for us to feel the same way. But I thought that the theme and the mindset that he set is perfect for us. How should you and I be going into 2024? It should be with this. We haven't come this far to come this far. Now let me apply it. Let me get it going. Let me start out with you elite doctors that are at this conference right now. Let me just make sure that you have in mind what your 2024 should be. You are, I realize, the most successful doctors in chiropractic. Now that's saying a lot. No one has more new patients than you do. No one has more wellness visits in the profession than you do. You have already won so much. You are already much bigger than all the others in the profession. Everyone in this country, every chiropractor. So how much bigger do you need to be anyway? How far is enough? I mean, wouldn't that be considered by a lot to be far enough? So, how should you go into 2024? Well, I'm telling you what it should be. Put this on your forehead, put it in your computer, put it on your door, put it on everywhere you go. I haven't come this far to get this far. Boy, what a great thought. You haven't come this far to get this far. And let me just tell you now, you might even say, why? Well, it isn't about the money, you guys. Come on. It isn't about the money. Even though, no halo over my head, there's nothing wrong with money, and there's nothing wrong about that, as we say on Seinfeld. But it isn't about the money. It isn't even about how you compare with all the other chiropractors. Even though I'm the first one to say it is fun to win. I love being first. I love first place. It's fun to win. But it isn't about that either. It's about the fact that you have a God-given purpose to take the lead in healthcare. To not be second, not be third, and not be chosen last. Not be one of those things where, well, I've tried everything else and now I thought I would try you. No. You're going to take the lead. It's the God-given purpose to take the lead in healthcare. And healthcare needs your leadership. I'm telling you, they need to have a leader who will take them away from, not lead them with, not to join with them, away from the fear of death and drugs. To take them away from, to take the lead by getting 80% of the population under the natural healing care of chiropractic. That's where we are at. That's why we do it, to fulfill our God-given purpose. That's why. So let's take some other groups. That's you that are elite now, but let's take some of you who just have recently graduated from chiropractic college. Do you graduate? Now, how should you go into 24 anyway? Well, you know what's happened. I've watched it. I've watched hundreds of you do this. You get your sights on becoming a doctor, and you've had it for a long time, and it's a long and difficult path. And there are many times where you're nervous and scared, and you wonder if you're even going to make it. And I understand it. Maybe some of you even had some friends and family who wondered if you were going to make it too. It became such a high goal that when you did get there, you did walk across that platform, and you did get that doctor's degree, it felt like standing on the podium and getting that gold medal. It was like the gold medal had been won, and now you are done because you got what you've worked so hard for. You got that gold medal. Now it's just all about collecting the reward from here on. Well, the problem is that becoming a doctor is actually the starting point, not the ending point. You have not arrived. This is where your ambition, now you guys, 24, this is where your ambition must kick in. Ambition, one of those sort of things that seem to be disappearing in some. This is where your ambition must kick in, not retirement. So, recent graduates, how should you go into 2024? I'm going to tell you. You haven't come this far to come this far. Now is the time to set your sights on the true goal, your God-given purpose. What are you going to do? You're going to heal the land, bucko. You're going to take the lead in healthcare. Second to nobody or nothing. We are going to change the health of our world, and we are going to do it by getting the 80%. Okay, so now let's take a third group. Maybe it wasn't your best year yet in 2023. Maybe you didn't just graduate and you've been doing this for a while. And maybe 2023 was your toughest year yet. At least a tough year. So if you had it, you say, well, Keith, it has been. I mean, I lost money this year. Maybe you say, but I lost personally. I lost my dad. Maybe you'd be saying in your practice, well, we had a huge staff turnover. Man alive, it seems like it's just a revolving door. And maybe it's all of the above. Maybe you had all of those take place in 2023. Now, I don't want you to think I don't understand, because I do. I've had my fair share of tough years. And I understand what it's like to have tough personal things where you lose a lot. Just one example, I guess, quickly, is that since I've owned Integrity, I've lost my dad, I've lost my mom, I've lost my mother-in-law, I've lost my father-in-law, I've lost my sister, I've lost my sister-in-law, I've lost my brother-in-law. And what I never thought would happen to me before me was I lost my son, Kyle. And that's just my personal life. Man alive, that, not only that's personal family, but I'm not even naming the financial struggles, the where's the money, can't see it anywhere, the staff struggles. Still, when I'm telling you all this now, you still want to compete with me, you think? Or maybe no. I know what it's like to want to crawl back in bed, pull the covers over your head, and stay there. I know what it's like to not have any hope and belief for 2024 or whatever the year was. So how should you be going into it? Well, it's even more important for you and I to have the right response to 2024, and that is, well, we haven't come this far to come just this far. We are not giving up. We are not giving in. Hope you hear Zootopia coming in with a song here. We are all in for the dream. So that 2024 is a lookout, everybody. We are soaring. We are rising above it all because we haven't come this far to stop here. We are all in and nothing is going to stop us. So the truth is, it doesn't matter, you guys, how you ended 2023. You had your best year yet? Or maybe you just graduated? Or maybe you had your most difficult year ever? The answer is still the same. The response to 2024 is the same. Look out, everybody. We haven't come this far to come this far. We're not at the stopping point. We are still alive. We want to win. We plan to win. We have the plan to win. The God-given dream in this year. We want to take the lead in healthcare by putting chiropractic first and making chiropractic first. We want to take the lead by getting 80% of the population on chiropractic wellness care. That's the plan, and that's how we go into this year. So where do we start? Here's where I want you to start, and I want you to say this too. I refuse to use small thinking. Boy, that's a really good thing to say to yourself. It's a good thing to say to others. I refuse to use small thinking. I know you're just a few of you there, but let's say it together. I refuse to use small thinking. Not going to do it. It's going to be big thinking, big dreams. Now, here's one thing I want to say to you. Do not be seduced by the absurd idea that there is a danger in thinking too big. You know, I see that a lot, and that's kind of hard to believe, that we become afraid of, I don't want to set the sights too high. I don't want to think too big. I don't want to believe for too much. I don't want to have too much faith. Now, is it possible? You feel that. Is it possible to be true? Can you really have, I'm asking, can you really have too much faith? Where did you get that exactly? I wanted to know, so I wanted to say, and before I'm going to say this, I made an exhaustive search through all of the scriptures, and I did not find even one place, you guys, where anyone was ever found guilty of having too much faith, and God didn't like it. He shut it down. You've got too much faith. You're believing for too much. I don't even see where he warned people ever of having too much faith. Too much faith? I also never found where anyone has ever died from it. What did he die of? Well, he believed for too much. I mean, he was just going for, I don't know. If he had only not stretched that far, if he had only not gone for that. No one has ever failed because of it. But you would sure think that that's what happens, that it would be the downfall of the masses because we feel the fear and we're told the fear and we're warned of going too much. of flying too high, but you won't find it. You can't find it. It wasn't the deal. We get messed up, you guys. So what am I telling you? Refuse to use small thinking. Say that. I refuse to use small thinking. Oh, I do want to say one other thing, though. No one has ever displeased God, made God mad for having too much faith. Oh, boy, I got to stop this guy. What is he thinking? What is he doing? What is he believing for? I mean, I can't do that. Now, I have seen where he said, without faith, it is impossible to please God. So I can displease God. I can make God mad by not having great faith. But I can't make him mad for not having great faith. And I will tell you this too. God has never commanded us not to have too much faith. Back off. Lower it. Not even found a place where he warned us not to have too much faith. It wasn't one of, just in case you don't know, there's only 10 of them, but I want to make sure. Just so you know that it wasn't one of the 10 commandments either. Thou shalt not have a lot of faith. You would think he said that, but no. And it wasn't added, by the way, it wasn't added to the commandments later on in the New Testament. It wasn't a New Testament I give you. Now, some of you may know, Hebrews 11 is known as the faith chapter, but there is no chapter of the don't go too far chapter, don't have too much faith chapter, let's lower the bar chapter, let's go a little bit less chapter, well, this is taxing God a little bit too much. But you would think that that's the way it was, and that chapter was there, just by how many warnings we've been given by friends, by family, by ourselves, that we're going a little too far, believing for too much. Don't believe for too much. And why is the reason given, you guys? Everybody knows, I guess unless I'm the only one who's been given this advice, but it's so we don't get hurt. I don't want you to be disappointed. I don't want you to be hurt. Well, you're going to have a hard time finding it in the Bible anyway. So let me offer this rule for you to live by that goes with our theme for the year. And it's this: I refuse to use small thinking. So look, you guys, if we're going to be here, we're still alive. If we're going to be here, we might as well go for soaring. We might as well, if you're going to fly, let's fly like an eagle, man, not like a gnat. I want to fly like an eagle. I want to fly high. If I'm going to fly, man, I don't know. And we have right outside of, where we can live on the water there. And these different kinds of pelicans and different things will fly. Sometimes they'll fly just about inches off the water. I mean, it's frightening seeing them fly just inches above the water. I just know they're going to crash. I would say that it'd almost be scarier to fly low than it is to fly high. I think there's more danger in those planes that fly low doing crop dusting than it is for those that are flying 30,000 feet. So I'm going to say this. If we're going to heal the land, let's heal at least 80% of it, you guys. Let's believe big. Let's believe powerful. Let's think big. Let's help everyone. I am confident, you guys. I've thought about this many times because I like to picture myself going into heaven, honestly. Seeing some of those people that I just named off earlier. I'm confident that when we get to heaven, we will look around and within moments, we will scream, "What was I thinking? I should have had more faith." Do you think it's really possible to look around at all that has already been set up for us, all that has been prepared for us, all the many things that are there, including the many people that are there? You really think that you're going to think, no wonder, I'm glad that I realized that I was going to tax God too much and give him too much. So, you guys, how are we going to go into 2024? We are not thinking losses. We are not thinking hurts. You may have had some, but you're not thinking it. We're not thinking, well, I really think we've done so much. We've gone far enough. No, we're thinking we have not come this far to come this far. And we refuse to use small thinking. Our plan for 2024 is immeasurably more. It rhymes with 24. We're believing for immeasurably more. Things like resurrecting some of these things that we have believed for before. Let's believe for a big, beautiful 4-story hospital building. How would that be? Wouldn't that be awesome, you guys? Let's just think about that for a minute. What if we had a 4-floor hospital and we had one floor that was for nothing but athletes? What if 80% of the athletes in your world was on your wellness care? Now, is that exciting to think about or not? Think about it, and I don't know, obviously, where you are at and what town you're at right now, but how many colleges are in your area that have sports programs? How many high schools are there in your area that have sports programs? How many junior highs are there that have sports programs? And then, man, you think about how many leagues there are for all ages. How many leagues of baseball and football and soccer, and I don't know, maybe even hockey. You want your clinics to provide the chiropractic care that those athletes are going to need to have the edge, to have more than the rest, to be able to win because they have the health care advantage. They were one of the smart ones who chose chiropractic care to lead in their care for them as an athlete. So, you have it even set up where they can come in before the game or after the game or maybe both to get an adjustment so they can be ahead. Now, why would we go for something like this? That's a lot of folk. Yeah, you got to admit, isn't it exciting to think about having that? We want to go this far because we haven't come this far to get this far. We are now, where we're at right now in integrity, we are now big enough at this point where we are positioned to win 80% of the sports teams and athletes so that they have the edge to win. We are now, we don't even have to wait. We are now in the game, you guys. And we still have to win the game because we're in it to win it. What do you say? Are we in it to win it? Are we in it to take the lead in sports healthcare? Can we take the lead in sports healthcare? I'm asking you. So what about a floor that has nothing but athletes on it? Nah. And then what about another floor that is for seniors? In this great 4-story hospital, one floor that's for senior adults. We want 80% of our senior adults over 65. It's our Medicare floor. Somebody's saying, are we sure we want this? The be careful what you pray for type thing. Are we sure we want this? Well, shoot, you guys, absolutely. Just picture all the assisted living buses coming to your place with hundreds of seniors to get natural healing and pain relief. Now, for those of you who have ever been, I don't know if you've ever been to assisted living places or what we used to have and call nursing homes and stuff. When I was a teenager and all, we used to go sing at nursing homes. And boy, I'll tell you something. You know how important that chiropractic care and natural health care can be because they start to get to a point where everybody's solution in healthcare is just to drug them up, where they are numb, where they can't think, where they don't know anything. And yet we are going to keep them wellness through chiropractic care. Don't you know that they will love it? And in my opinion, don't you know that they deserve it? Why? Think about it, you guys. Getting old takes guts. I can tell you now. Getting old takes guts. It is not that easy. There is a tremendous amount of physical changes. There's a tremendous amount of decay in our bodies. all the things that we thought we would always be able to do. And now we find that nothing works like it used to. And there is no place where they have more physical adjustments than seniors. They've never had to adjust more physically in their life than now. They will, when they discover chiropractic care and wellness care that can be for them, and they don't have to go completely numb and not know where they are or what they're doing. There is a lot of chronic pain out there, and they need help. And it's easy to feel like to them that it's a losing battle. And so what I want to say is, if you choose to get in it with them, fight the battle with them, and help them win with them, you are a hero. You are a hero to take on the Medicare world, bucko, having nothing to do with anything else except for it's the right thing to do. And I will tell you this, in case you haven't seen the statistics, it's a growing percentage of the population that is this senior adult population. And it's also one that is easily neglected because we all like to look at the perfect specimens physically. They will take this group, though not exactly what everybody would run after, they will take whatever they can get to make life easier. We can just drug them up and keep them drugged up. And this is by far an easy solution, but not yours. I'm asking you, step it up. Step up and be a hero for them. Why should you do it? I'll tell you why. Because you can. You have the size and the ability to help them win without such drug dependence. Nobody feels good on drugs. Sometimes they feel like giving up and giving in to being drugged up. So come on, you guys, let's step it up. We haven't come this far to get this far. I like to picture a parking lot, having one parking lot but with nothing but handicapped spaces. Wouldn't that be awesome? And they're full. There is so much to do, you guys, and so much that can be done, and I want to win it. Well, let's talk about another floor on this hospital here. How about the pediatric floor? Nothing but kids. Kids everywhere. Smelly, loud, running all over the place. Kids. And on this floor, we'll also have an area for expecting mothers so that you can greatly improve their birthing process and the health of that baby when they are born. Having an area for babies. Having an area for babies and toddlers. Isn't it always exciting when you have a little baby come in for the first time? I mean, admit it. Doesn't it just get you going? It's so awesome. It's so cool. Now I want you to picture this. I want you to picture 80% of the babies coming in your office. 80% of the toddlers crawling into your office. Whoa, getting that adjustment for the first time. Just imagine that, you guys. Come on, use your dream capacity there. Begin to think and imagine that. Just think about this too. Imagine even having a floor that is all for them. Everything has been built, made with them in mind. There is no adult stuff in it. It's all music for them. All the decorations are for the kids. All furniture has been built for the size of the kids. Everything fits their world. Now, I'll tell you what I think of when I think of this. When I start dreaming it, I start thinking about the tables and the chairs and the restrooms and the artwork. All of it is a kid's thing. I'll tell you what I think about. I think about the movie Elf. Do you guys like the movie Elf? I love the movie Elf. And I think about Will Ferrell. I'm telling you, I want it to be a floor where an adult will stand out like Buddy did at the North Pole. Don't you love it? And then here's what I was thinking as a reward. I don't know, this is just a thought, it's just me, but how neat of a reward would it be that when you put these kids on wellness care, maybe they still sign a wall. I like signing the wall, but maybe they also get a plate of spaghetti with syrup on it. What do you think of that? Well, maybe I'm just kidding on that, but it is kind of fun to think about, isn't it? I mean, come on, don't we all just like, what? When he's pouring that syrup over the spaghetti, and I'm thinking, you're going to wellness. You just accepted wellness care. Bring out the spaghetti and the syrup. Will they love it or what? Everything's for them. But it is fun thinking about all things you could do to make this floor their own universe. I will say that the dentists have been good at this. There's some that are very good at this kids thing, and I don't want them to beat us. And then even a floor for regular patients. What about that? What about that, huh? You know, a floor for regular people. You know, working people, non-working people, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, patients in pain, back pain, headache, immobile, mobile, patients in no pain, nice people, a floor for not so nice people, a floor for skinny people and huge people, all of them, just regular open, good-looking people. This is one floor where we're going to have just regular patients, good-looking people and ugly people. How many of you know anybody ugly? Don't point. You're pointing. I think I saw somebody point. Smart, geeky people. Stupid people. How many of you know stupid people? Anybody know stupid people? Well-dressed people. Smelly people. Good-smelling people. Patients with tons of cologne on them and stuff. Even a place that this floor would be for new patients that have never been to a chiropractor before. And on the same floor, we'd have people who have been to a bad one before. Been everywhere else but a chiropractor before. Patients with insurance. Patients without insurance. In other words, this is one full floor. We're going to have one floor for everybody else that nobody wants to have a clinic for. Nobody's ever put a sign up for a clinic of these people. You know, we want to make them wellness patients. What do you think of that? Now, I realize when you think about all this, this is super huge thinking. So then you got to think, how do we get to the hospital from here? Well, we build chiropractic clinics everywhere. It's a stepping stone thing, where then all these clinics would become the feeder for this huge hospital. You see, we have to have a plan to go with the purpose and the dream. We have to have a plan of how we get there. So what is it? We work our way up to the hospital with clinics that will feed all these floors. This is the way we can get the 80%. It's the only way. You see, the 80% is a lot of people, and they have to have a place to go. We cannot take the lead in healthcare, and we cannot change the health of our world without having the patients. How do we get them? And where do we put them? We build chiropractic clinics, super clinics, everywhere. And the good news is, you guys, building super clinics is what we're good at. And it's what we know how to do. In Integrity, we know how to build up a great elite clinic. We did yours that way. We have years of experience to back it up. We have a parade of elite clinics everywhere. We know how to take it from zero, from scratch to that. We don't wonder if it can be done. We have already done it. We can, you guys. Let's get excited about this. We can do this. So, why should I go for such an impossible dream? Maybe in your minds. You got to remember the 2024 theme. We haven't come this far to come this far. And what I wanted to do in this first class is to start your imagination. Kick it in gear. Get that dream where you start thinking about going farther. Not settling, not letting some past losses or hurts stop you, not letting some success stop you, not letting your accomplishments in academics stop you, but instead you use it to start you, to take you into your greatest year yet. That's what I want for you to do. Can you do it? So everybody say this with me. I haven't come this far to come this far. Say this with me. I refuse to use small thinking. In 2004, we're going to dream big. We're going to believe big. We're going to have big faith. And we are going to go farther than we ever dreamed or imagined what a year is going to be. And that's all I have to say about that.